Welcome to another episode of Respections. I'm your host, Patrick Thomason. Today we are at the Salem United Methodist Church for a musical set of selections in the honor of Grace G.O.D. Brown-Barton. Today we'll feature the Handbell Choir, the Stepan, and other classical selections. We hope you'll enjoy this, and we look forward to presenting many more of these to you.
Thank you so much. You have really lifted our spirits, and we pray that yours have lifted from this beautiful instrument that has been created to continue to make music. And as the music ministries still try to hold on to their services, especially in a lot of our churches, we're losing members. There's so much that has happened that we've lost members. And as you can see in the program, we have a little bit of the history of how this mass bell choir came together. And this church had a bell choir way before I think I started singing. Actually, I started singing here in family band and discovered that they had a bell choir. And I used to teach bells in Lincoln High School in Yonkers. And when their director passed, I said, no, I can come and help you out. Because they were kind of self-directing each other. And so I've been working with them ever since. And I have to say, for this group, I haven't seen such dedicated people who show up. And today we get an opportunity to show out. They ready to kill me, I was ready to quit. So they would let you all have the Willie service. And I love them for that. But COVID was a result of both of our choirs losing basically half of its members. Not all due to the COVID choirs, but because of the way it set us up for worship. We started going to Bedside Baptist. Many of you are familiar with Bedside Baptist. Pillow, Deacon Mattress. We know that church. And it's been a little difficult to get, some members even get to come back to the house of worship. Although we know that we should be worshiping, we are the church inside. We are the church. This building burns down, we inside, we are the church. But God has given the churches many gifts and many talents. And one that He has given this church and many other churches is the gift of bells. And if they were ready to do without this ministry, the ladies from Salem said, we want to keep our bells. I said, well, we're going to fight. And they did. And the Church of the Good Shepherd was the other church that I worked with for many, many years. And their director, and when all of this happened, I said, would you like to join together so we can have, because we need enough ringers for the level of music that we play. And they said yes. And we have our dear friend from the Church of the Latter-day Saints. So that's really what it's all about. It doesn't matter about denomination, it doesn't matter about the color of your skin, it doesn't matter about where you're born, where you come from, your roots or nothing. The whole thing is who created us is the most important thing. And how do we find ourselves worshiping Him? That's the most important thing. And so we're able to continue this ministry because these dedicated women are still here. And so at this point, we would like to remember our dear friend and director. We used to teach together at Lincoln High School. This is when I first met her. She was a band teacher, and she started bringing me over to the Church of the Good Shepherd and other churches up in the Bronx just to sing. And so I was able to play with her. So right now, we'd like to do a memorial to honor her. So I'm going to ask Simone. Simone is, this is Simone Bowen. She was trained by Miss Grace. We affectionately call her Miss Grace. Miss Grace was able to take them, and you see how young she was, right? Okay. Miss Grace had them when they were little and trained them, and she's not young when they're and she trained them phenomenally. And so Simone has come back as an alumnus of the Bell Choir from Church of Good Shepherd, and she is going to start this memorial for Miss Grace.
In memoriam, Miss Grace O.D. Brown-Barton, the O.D. stood for Olivia Dorothy, and she would let everyone know that when you combine the initials of her name together, it's spelled G.O.D. The great goddess of music ministry, Mrs. Grace expressed her commitment to music, particularly music that honored God in diverse forms. Her life's objective was to consistently dedicate her talents to the glorification of God through music. Miss Grace initially joined the Church of Good Shepherd in January 1987, contributing foundational work in musical excellence and spiritual engagement during her first year. Although she departed due to personal and professional obligations, her connection to the church community remained steadfast. In October 1999, motivated by renewed purpose and encouragement from colleagues, Ms. Grace returned to serve as the choir director of the Chancel Choir, embarking on a distinguished 21-year tenure that significantly shaped the church's musical program. As choir director, Ms. Grace contributed extensive expertise, including proficiency with various instruments, mastery of four-part harmony, and skill in musical arrangement. Her leadership fostered a cohesive and spirited ensemble, facilitating both musical and communal growth among choir members of both the Church of the Good Shepherd and St. Andrew's Church. In Calvin, Canon McIntyre, rector of Church of the Good Shepherd, proposed the establishment of the Handbell Choir in 2000. Ms. Grace successfully assembled and trained a group of novices, demonstrating patience and dedication to their development. Ms. Grace's influence was evident during the Handbell Choir's inaugural performance, providing reassurance and guidance to alleviate member anxieties and emphasizing the importance of purpose over perfection. However, perfection was attained. Perfection not only came from the hammering out of music to prevent what Ms. Grace would describe as ungodly notes, but it was evident in the presentation in matching uniforms and Mrs. Grace's maestra velvet outfit and neat button curl. Over the years, Ms. Grace, along with Mrs. Camille McIntyre, played an essential role in event logistics, rehearsal management, and community engagement for major performances. Notable events include the 2003 concert at Riverside Church, which attracted significant community participation, the 2004 United Nations performance promoting messages of peace and unity, the 2009 Cathedral of St. John the Divine Appearance, celebrating musical diversity in one of New York's iconic spaces, and the 2012 Christmas holiday performance at the White House, where the choir represented the church with distinction. Outreach initiatives under Ms. Grace's direction enabled performances in Jamaica to support Clifton Boyd's Home and fundraising events in Antigua for cathedral restoration. Ms. Grace's legacy is reflected in the enduring impact she has had on church members and choir alumni. Her impact was and is not only felt by the choir members, but the youth of the church. Ms. Grace would share her dreams or premonitions for our futures and end message with her great ha-ha laugh that would make you feel as though whatever she shared was etched by the finger of God. Her sustained commitment, musical vision, and effective leadership have profoundly influenced the Church of the Good Shepherd, illustrating the unifying power of music offered in praise. In closing, I'll share this verse with you. Proverbs 31:31. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her work spread her praise. Thank you.
Her son is here today. Baba, okay. Her son is here today. Baba, she taught him how to play bells as well. And he was always really what we call big boy. That's C3, you know, yeah. And try not to lose a show. But thank you for that beautiful tribute. They're always trying to see if I'm imitating her. So the best thing that I can do is look over my glasses to try to get But yeah, she was definitely a godly woman, and she will tell you in a minute, my initials represent God. Yes, man. So these pieces are in memorial or memory of Miss Grace, some of her favorite pieces we're about to play for you.
ladies from Salem. They played songs that were either one page or 3 pages. And they had a binder, but they didn't put the music in the rings. And so this is kind of what you might just see and hear when they were still holding on to the ministry.
Thank you for joining us. We've been treated to a really, really splendid and wonderful musical presentation. We hope to bring you several more of these, and we hope that you enjoyed it. And we ask you to stay tuned, and we look forward to presenting several more of these to you in the very near future. Patrick Tomlinson, your host, Respections.